Yo, what's up friends? Welcome back to another video here in Angel and Tech. Going off of the last video I did, and for those that haven't watched it, link will appear somewhere on here. We talked about resources to get started with Python. However, you don't just learn Python and not use it. So today in this video, I will talk about free resources for Python exercises where you can implement what you learn and develop your skills. This will be a two-part video, or maybe more, depending on what you think, your comments, your suggestions, and then we can just build off of there. But yeah, like in another video, I'll go over different websites that are used to help prepare individuals for interviews, exams, etc. that are a little bit more real world problem based, and it gives you an idea of what kind of actual problems you'll be able to be solving. But for now, these resources will cover exercises for you to practice your Python. And as I mentioned in other videos, the internet is filled with a variety of resources. The ones I go over today are what I think will benefit you to start implementing what you learn and get a taste of what Python can do. And then just a gentle reminder, what will work for you might not work for someone else, so keep working hard and keep learning. But we'll be going over PiNative, W3 resource, and practice Python, so definitely stay tuned and watch the full video. And then the links will be provided in the description for these resources, and there will also be a link to my GitHub where you can find additional resources and you can continue from there. So with that being said, let's get started and get off into the first resource. Cool. So the first resource where you can practice your Python programming is provided by PiNative. This awesome online platform gives you hints, examples, and provides you with the solution once you are ready. We can take a look. So it gives you basic exercises for beginners, Python input and output exercise, string exercises, list exercises, dictionary exercises, object-oriented programming exercises. You learn about classes, inheritance. You can practice JSON exercises, so being able to parse, create, manipulate, encode, decode JSON, which is really cool. NumPy, pandas, and matplotlib when you're doing statistical data analysis. More math-based Python. Data generation, you can create random data, database exercises. So this is really cool. There's a lot of on here. One thing that I really liked about PiNative is that it offers an online code editor. So let's say you want to practice your Python exercise and you want to do the first solution. Well, you can open up their online editor and you can practice this. So if you want to calculate the multiplication sum of two numbers, you can just easily go and print, I don't know, let's do 2 times 2, and then we can hit run. Weights, answer is 4, so on and so forth. You can go back and forth, move on to other exercises. It does show you a hint. It shows the solution of what they did. Obviously this is just very basic, but the general idea is that you're able to practice on the web browser and don't have to download anything, and you can get an idea of what you've been learning, start implementing everything you've learned. So that's really cool. The link for this will be in the description. Another great another great resource that I found was really good was W3 resource. So when I was learning Python in my undergrad, I used a lot of W3 resource just because there's a variety, and I mean a variety of exercises on here. They provide over 300 problems and solutions for you to try and test your knowledge. So you can start off with just basic Python stuff, built-in modules, data types, JSON, arrays, enumerators, bisect, conditional statements, map, linked list, so data structures, binary search tree, Python math, file input output, regular expressions, databases, CSV, file reading. And then the cool thing, it also offers you some exercises for you to work with the Python library Kinter, where you can create GUIs. I personally haven't used those, but I do know that you can create awesome interfaces for your applications, so that's really cool. Python NumPy, another thing, going back to data related and math based Python. They also offer you challenges and give you mini projects to do. Python pandas related to more data stuff, which is really cool. And they also offer you some machine learning exercises using a really popular data set called Iris Flower. So that's really cool. And there's just a bunch more. Like, this is filled with things. And if you ever get bored and don't want to be doing Python anymore, they also offer you different programming languages such as JavaScript, C programming, C#, R programming, Java, SQL, MySQL. There's just a bunch of things you can do on here. So definitely take a look at this one, and it's all free as well. So we can take a look at one and you can kind of see what I mean. Of course, there's that, an ad. So right here, it gives you an exercise: write a Python program to create an array of 5 integers and display the array items, access individual element through indexes. And it gives you a sample output and then what you should be doing. You can also go to the editor and you can practice on here, similar to PiNative. You can also click to see the sample solution, and it'll walk you step by step of what you're trying to achieve, the overall goal. And it has the Python editor right there too, if you want to come up with a different way of doing it. So that's really cool. Definitely take a look. Don't take this one for granted at all. Like I said, over 300 exercises and problems for you to work on, and it will really benefit you. Cool. The next one is Practice Python. So this is more of a blog type of website, which is really cool. And these exercises on here, they have a big range from beginner to a little bit of advanced. I wouldn't say you won't be able to do it, you definitely can, but it covers a lot of what you can do with Python in general. So it's more like very small mini projects built into exercises for you to do. So let's say let's look at this one, list overlap. So write a program that returns a list that contains only the elements that are common between the list without duplicates. Make sure your program works on 2 different sizes of the list. So it tells you gives you a sample of what it should be, and then tells you a little bit of how you should be able to do it. And you just practice this on your own, and it also comes with a solution. Clearly this one probably didn't have one. Oh, because I clicked on the solution. This is the solution. I'm sorry, but if you click on solution, this is just the exercise, which is really cool. But if you go back and look at more stuff, you can do character input, date time, birthday dictionaries. You could do tic-tac-toe, draw a game board, file overlap, read from a file, and so many other things on here, which is really cool. You could even learn to decode a web page. So it tells you what libraries to use, goes over the libraries, tells you a little bit about what each library does and what it's used for and why you should be using it to solve this problem, which is really cool. And if you haven't watched my last video, kind of what I did, a password generator, tells you what they did and how they did it. So definitely look at that. And yeah, that's it for these resources that I think will benefit you to get started with these 3 websites. I think you'll be able to learn a lot and get the most out of what you are learning. Of course, like I said and I mentioned earlier, these are not the only resources out there, but I do believe these can help you advance your skill. The links for these resources are in the description, as well as in the GitHub repository, where there's additional resources for you to learn Python and go back and forth and just make sure you're understanding what you're doing. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you want to contribute and add more resources, please feel free to commit your changes on GitHub and I'll take a look, and let's make this grow. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or reach me on Twitter. If you enjoyed this resource video, please leave a comment and like. Subscribe to watch more awesome videos to come to help you on your tech journey. I will see you in the next video. Dream, code, and live.